Hi everyone, so today I will be telling you about ionizing radiation, which is that part of the electromagnetic spectrum where the rays have, or the waves or the photons have enough energy to ionize, so to make an atom into an ion, okay? So those are the gamma rays, X-rays and ultraviolets, so anything above the visible. So again, the electromagnetic spectrum, or EM spectrum, is in the following order of higher frequency to lower frequency, or higher energy to lower energy, or short wavelengths to long wavelengths, has the following order: gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, visible light, infrared, microwaves, and radio waves. Now, the lower part, the part that is from visible light downwards, so the ones as you increase the wavelength and decrease the frequency, those are known as non-ionizing radiation. They carry less energy in each photon, and their main effect is warming, and you already have a video and two videos really about that. Now, the top ones, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays, they are the ionizing radiation. Gamma are the most ionizing, then X, and then ultraviolet. So they have lots of energy in each photon, and these photons have a strong local effect. They can ionize. So ionizing radiation, so if you have photons, which can be called packets of energy, so energy coming in small packets, okay, from ionizing radiation, these photons, they have enough energy to kick an electron out of the atom and therefore produce an ion. Remember, an ion is an atom with a charge that gained or lost one or more electrons, okay? Now, what is the problem? Well, ionizing radiation therefore can alter the materials that it strikes in case of living cells, which is what happens if they strike our cells and the atoms in our body. It can damage them, destroy them, kill them, and can start a cancer. And in here I have an example. So imagine this is the radiation getting into a cell. It can break the DNA structure or alter the DNA structure. You get one bad cell. Now, cancer is when you have many bad cells growing out of control. So cells, they reproduce by cloning themselves, by becoming exactly the same as they were. So they grow and they clone themselves. So if you have one bad cell cloning itself and cloning again and again, you have lots of bad cells, and this is what is known to be a tumor, okay? Now, now going more in detail in each of the three ionizing radiations. I'm going to start with the ultraviolet. Melanin is a brown pigment in the skin and provides some protection from the UV radiation. So now I'm talking more in detail in each of the radiations, okay? So people whose ancestors lived in sunnier parts of the world are more likely to have this protective brown skin. Now, you need to know that although ultraviolet is the least ionizing of gamma, X-rays, and then ultraviolet, of course, they are still quite harmful. So go on this video on ultraviolet UV rays, which I'm going to put on the link on the description, and then try to answer these questions. Oh, why do we need protection from UV radiation? Because it can cause skin cancer, which can kill us, of course, because it's ionizing radiation. So these are the questions that I want you to try to answer using the video. Types of UV radiation. Which UV radiation is known as a cancer agent, which is the burning ray? Which are the people most at risk of getting skin cancer? Which vitamin is produced by the exposure to the sun? Which is better, sun or tan saloon? And what does SPF means, okay? So click on the video, and then I'm going to go on the answers that you will get on the video. So pause the video if you don't want to check the answers just yet, okay? So UV radiation can be UVA, UVB, or UVC, depending on the band where they are within the UV, so depending on the actual wavelength. The UV radiation that is known as the cancer agent is UVA. So it's the one that goes deeper into your skin, okay? UVB is the burning ray, okay? And then UVC just stays on the top, all right? The people that are most at risk of getting skin cancer are the ones that have light skin, eyes, hair, people that live in the sun, and people that never use sunscreen. These two are obvious, of course. The light is again because they have less melanin, less of that brown pigment, okay? Which vitamin is produced by the exposure to the sun? That's vitamin D. Which is better, the sun or sun saloon? Tan saloon. So that's the sun The tan saloon uses UVA, which is the cancer agent, and is much closer than to you, so that those rays are much closer to you than the UVA is getting from the sun, that you get from the sun, okay? And SPF means sun protection factor, is the time that you can be out in the sun and still being protected against sunburns. However, you need to reapply and all that stuff, okay? So the vitamins from sunlight, our skin absorbs sunlight to make vitamin D, which is going to help us for what? So I have here 5 different options. Again, pause the video and try to see which of the option is going to be the right one. Otherwise, I'm going to give you the answer now, which is not the chocolate one, not what was this one, making you taller, but it does strengthen your bones and muscles, boost your immune system, and prevent growth and spread various cancers. So this is all things that you can get from vitamin D by the exposure to the sun, but you can also get it from foods, okay? Now, going up in terms of frequency and energy and lower in terms of wavelength, I have X-rays. X-rays are even more energetic than UV. They can pass through the flesh and are absorbed by the bone, so they are used in medicine to look at bones, okay? They are dangerous because they are ionizing radiation, and therefore they can cause cancer as well. And for this reason, exposure to X-rays is kept very short. I don't know why I put it at R. X-rays are produced when the electrons or other particles moving at high speeds are stopped, okay? So before, for example, just a little bit of a note, people would check babies not using ultrasound but using X-rays, and X-rays are ionizing, unlike ultrasound. So they were then getting lots of babies and lots of infants with cancer, and they didn't know why. So there was a big trend, but they didn't know why until later on they discovered that it was due to the amount of ionizing radiation the babies were being exposed even before being born, okay? X-rays can also be used to detect cracks in metal objects, okay? So if you want to see where something is leaking, for example, you can use X-rays, because the amount of absorption depends on the thickness of the metal as well, okay? Finally, we have gamma rays. So now these are the ones with the shortest wavelength and the highest frequency and energy. Now, gamma rays come from radioactive materials. They must have a shorter wavelength than the X-rays, but actually the two types overlap in frequency and wavelength, okay? Gamma rays can cause cancer, likewise all types of ionizing radiation. However, due to their high frequency, gamma rays are also used in cancer treatment because they can kill cells, okay, the bad cells, the cancer cells. As they kill cells, they are also used to kill bacteria and sterilize food and medical equipment. Now, if you have high doses of ionizing radiation, it will kill the living cells, as you know. That's what is used in cancer treatment. Low doses are the ones that can give you gene mutation or cancer's growth. Now, if you think about it, people that work with radiation all the time, they need to make sure that they are safe. And this came up in another video already, okay? So people that work with ionizing radiation must wear a film badge to measure the amount of radiation they have been exposed to. And then if the badge shows that the person has been overexposed, then the person will not be able to continue working with that equipment for some time, because otherwise they are getting a lot of ionizing radiation, which, because now you know the reasons, it can damage their health, okay? Alright, I just have a quick exercise in here. So I want you to pick up what is going to be the right wavelength out of the ionizing radiation. They are going to be having these particular uses, okay? So pause the video because I'm going to give you the answers now. And the answers are: X-rays used in airport security. UV produces vitamin D. X-rays as well are used to check broken bones. Cancer treatment is using gamma rays. UV is the one that the ozone layer absorbs most of it, and then gamma again to kill bacteria in foods and medical equipment, okay? So, ionizing radiation checklist. Ionizing radiation makes atoms into ions. Atoms go from being uncharged to being charged. This is because they gain or lose electrons. Gamma rays are used to kill harmful bacteria in foods, to sterilize surgical equipment, and to kill cancer cells. X-rays are used in hospital for medical images of bones. X-rays and gamma rays damage living tissue when they pass through it, and ultraviolet waves have a shorter wavelength than the visible light, which is non-ionizing, and can harm the skin and eyes. So that is all you need to know about ionizing radiation for today. Up to my next video, be happy and healthy. Bye!